Subscribe to our YouTube channel and press the bell icon to get the latest updates.
Hello and welcome to ThePrint. I have with me today the Ambassador of Iran to India, Dr. Ali Chegeni. Thank you so much for talking to ThePrint, Ambassador,
welcome.
and thank you for giving us your time. Let me just begin with the fact that our External Affairs Minister, Dr. Jaishankar, he was the first foreign dignitary to visit Iran after President Raisi came into power, and that was a big event. India was watching it very closely. So would it be right to say that India-Iran relations are now headed for a new chapter?
Of course. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. As usual, Iran and India used to have very good relationship. It is not for this age. This is for centuries, maybe thousands of years. We used to be neighbors. And still, the commonality that exists between the two nations force we, the diplomats, the two authorities of people in the country, to push the relationship. Because this relationship is based on culture, based on civilization. It is not a relationship based on some political and temporary issues. No, we are strategic partners. We are in the same geography. We are in the same history. We are in the same pact of the life and culture, and our emotions also are common. So that's why we see never the people-to-people relationship is excellent, and in the level of the government also, in any government, the relationships, because it is based on the people demand, is very good. And we appreciate that Dr. Jaishankar, who visited Iran twice in 1 month, and both was for visiting President Raisi. One after have been designated, and second in the swearing ceremony. So I see the two countries' goodwill and potential to have a new and a high profile of relationship in the new president era that we have. So this is a good signature, very good and significant act from Indian friends, as the MEA 2 times visited Iran within 1 month, and very good messages have been transferred. My president had and has very, very good and positive view regarding India relationship. He himself interested, and recently he has appointed his first vice president as a special official of Iran to promote the relationship with India.
A special envoy for India?
For India.
Okay.
So we didn't have such a thing before.
Okay.
That showed we are on the eve to have big steps toward to have very good relationship, promoting economic, political, and other aspect of relationship. Yes, my minister also will be coming.
Okay.
So we will have some exchange of visits. We are planning with our colleagues in the Ministry of Foreign Affairs of India to exchange the high-ranking officials from the two countries, parliamentary, and not only in the level of political, but economic also. We need to exchange the high official, and in the same time experts and private sectors also.
Okay.
So I see new chapter have been opened, and both countries has a lot of potential to improve the relationship.
That's interesting. Also, Your Excellency, if I can ask you, I'll come to the upcoming foreign minister's visit. But before that, if I can ask you, last year, Dr. Jaishankar was there, of course, and there was also defense minister who went there. We saw 2 important visits happening, and then you also saw a new government coming in. And the fact that this time, for the first time, you're saying that we have a special envoy only for maintaining the relationship with India. Now, the thought that comes in everyone's mind is, Are we going to see resumption of oil purchases? What happens to the Chabahar port, which has now become all the more important for India post the changes in Afghanistan? How do you see that?
First of all, I will tell we have no limit, no ban, and no barrier to develop our relationship with India. So that's,
Right.
and I don't see from Indian side also, except some third, factors that maybe intervene in such a thing like oil import. India used to be our big customer of oil during the years, and we were first country to export oil to India based on rupee, and this was first time in the Indian history. And
You recognize the rupee as the
yes,
currency.
it was a recognition of rupee as an international money instead to use dollar or some other. So beside that, we had some type of barters. So we used half of that money at least to buy commodities and our need from India, because Iran and India are complementary economy. They are not rivals. We are not the competitors.
Absolutely.
So whatever we are exporting, India needs, and whatever India exports, it's some type of our needs too. So we can exchange, we can improve. So for the oil, we expect that Indian friends should begin this. Of course, we are not deciding on behalf of the Indian friends. Indian authorities should do that. But from our side, there is no problem. There is no objection to export oil, gas, energy, petrochemical, and all other goods, oil and non-oil goods. So
Yes.
there is a big capacity. And I remember within 6 months when I reached here, we could pass $17 billion within 6 months. So that means there is high and very big potential of activities. Otherwise, if there is no cut of oil, we could see almost 30 billion, 35 billions right now. If oil began, gas began, and some other articles from Iran, I'm sure the bilateral and balanced one,
Right.
will be promoted and in the benefit of the two nations, of course.
What about basmati rice exports that India used to export to Iran? Is that going smoothly?
Yes, of course. Also, before we have been the Indian customer. We have been as India customer for buying agro product, including basmatis, tea,
Yes.
and soybean, corn, and so many. And still we are a big importer from India. So, and instead that also we used to export urea, fertilizer to India, and that's a need also for India. So still we are importing some part of our need from India. We are the big importer of basmati from India. And we used to be some years the biggest importer of tea also from India. And this is something not based for these years or recent years. It belongs to the maybe at least 4 or 5 decades that we used to import. Of course, we shifted from some countries in North and South America because we used to import rice from there. But basmati rice is very near to Iranian taste because we are producing the rice better than basmati, is perfumed one, but basmati is very near to our taste. So we are the big customer, good buyer, and the trade going on. But I hope we will be from other side also, by barter, we can improve it and will be again the first source.
Okay. Now, Excellency, as I asked you also on the Chabahar port project, I believe there has been a lot of hiccups and hurdles in that project. You wanted India to come for the railway
Yes.
project. there were issues with the sanctions, but now with a new administration coming in the US, you going back to the nuclear talks, do you think the sanctions will be eased a little bit and India probably can move forward in Chabahar?
Actually, Chabahar on the paper is not covered by US illegal sanctions.
Yes.
Because of Afghanistan and some regional
They waived the
issue
sanctions
and
from that. Yeah.
So Chabahar is not under sanction, but still we feel there is some fear and some scare from some maybe third parties regarding Chabahar to invest, to work like this. And India consider Chabahar as a golden gate for it. And we also consider, because it is the gate to connect India and the rest to Europe, to CIS country, Central Asia, Afghanistan, and even to East Europe. So the demand and the will from both sides is good, but activity is not enough, Right now there is 2 ports active there. More than 8 times, yes. According to my information, 8 times comparing with the previous year, then the load and unloading in Chabahar have been increased, both for local and international market. But there is a big capacity, is not only for transport and connectivity. Chabahar is a big and very vast area for investment, and it is free trade zone area in different fields, and there is a lot of opportunities for Indian friends to come and invest. Unfortunately, private sector from India still hesitate because of some fearness regarding maybe some sanction that they think. But government, I'm sure government wants that, but in practice still we see the activity there and works is not, and the speed also is not, convenience for whatever they will. But for your information, more than 70% of infrastructure of Zahedan to Chabahar, the railways, have been finished by ourselves in absence of Indian friends. We done it. And
you did it on your own?
Yes, on our own. 150 kilometers of that distance have been completely finished between Zahedan to Khash. So very soon all infrastructure will be finished. We wish that Indian friends come for signaling and for some other maybe for superstructure they can and come and involve.
Sure.
We welcome the Indian friends. I think there is some move also, and my president also insisting on that. Even Prime Minister Modi in last 2 speech that I saw him from Tashkent and from SCO also, he mentioned about this. My president also mentioned. So by exchanging the visit also, that will be speeding up. But I'm telling you honestly, the work is going on, but can be much more, pressed and speeding up the construction there. So Chabahar is improving. If you go and comparing with last year, you cannot believe.
Excellency, now coming to the Farzad B chapter, it happened as it came as a shock to India that, you'll be going on your own. Is there any chance for I know India also did a very slow movement when it came to Farzad B, but is there a chance for India to go back if they want to in the future?
As my authority announced, we never stopped and we never banned the Indian friends. The door is open for Indian friends. But how to come, how to be involved, that's something between my Ministry of Oil and the Indian sides. So we never blocked that. Of course, because this block is a common block between us and some neighboring countries. Since 2006, they are taking their share, and we are losing that. We cannot stop that, because otherwise we will be the big losers. As we lost more than 15 years because of the slow reply and activity of Indian friends, very honestly. But still, as I told you, there is no limit, there is no lock, there is no door is closed to Indian friends. For Farzad B also, there is some opportunity there that the Indian friends can be involved. It's up to them how to be involved and how to come.
Right, but India is now concerned that maybe, China will take the opportunities there.
Iran has plenty of opportunities,
You've signed a deal with the Chinese.
No, this is for Iranian local company.
Yes.
But we have different blocks that Chinese, non-Chinese, other countries also welcome. Okay. It is not limited, or we don't have monopoly for any country.
Now, Excellency, coming to the foreign minister's visit, it is going to be a very important visit, I understand, especially in the backdrop of, the changes in Afghanistan. India is hosting an NSA dialogue also next month. I believe NSA from your country will also be coming. Iran also hosted a discussion on Afghanistan in which India was not invited. Is that a cause of concern? And how are your views similar with India when it comes to recognizing or not recognizing the Taliban regime?
I think one of the closest country regarding Afghanistan issue is India to us.
Okay.
You cannot find maybe such India. We are very in the same line, and we have the common views regarding regional security and peace. Not only for Afghanistan, even for some other part of the northwest and some other parts. Especially for Afghanistan, our views are very close, very near, and we see the Indian participation in different format is somehow pushing our ideas, and it is strengthening our ideas. So we welcome Indian presence in different format.
Okay.
As we insist, the NSA you mentioned, first meeting was in Tehran. And in that side, we proposed to the participant, because it was neighboring for Afghanistan, we proposed to have India and Russia.
Okay.
That was, now the second round going to be held in Delhi.
In Delhi.
So for Tehran, because first round was in Pakistan, and this is the initiative of Pakistan, and second round in that the first one, the first meeting, they decided to invite Russia, because Russia is very involved in northern part of Afghanistan, and according to the background, so all the neighboring part they accepted this one. So if any new invitation should be for the coming round.
Okay.
We are for that India can come, welcome, but should be approved by the
entire group.
The entire group. So we are not against Indian participation. We are for that, but because third round will be in Beijing.
Okay.
Third round will be in Beijing, should be decided by all the groups. So for this reason that despite that we want and we push presence of India in such a format, because of the whole decision was not possible for this time in Tehran. I hope in next rounds that will be India also participated, because we see Indian presence in Afghanistan can help solving the problem and taking the peace and prosperity to the Afghanistan. Now I'm telling here because India through us offered 1 million doses to Afghan refugees. So my Ministry of Health had applied it.
Okay.
And because we are also, out of who is in the country, we just vaccinate everybody. But 1 million dose was very good gesture from Indian side. And I'm sure India wants to help Afghanistan for medicine and humanitarian aid through us or through other ways. We are ready, we announce our readiness. So we see India presence in Afghanistan can be a constructive thing and helping the peace and prosperity.
My last question, Excellency, and thank you for giving us the time. In terms of recognition of Taliban, that has become a big question. India has said that it is ready to stand beside the Afghan people because winter is coming. There is catastrophe of crisis
Yes.
happening, this food crisis,
Of
this
course.
humanitarian crisis, there are
Yes.
reports of people selling household items. Now, the situation is that everyone wants Taliban to have an inclusive government. What is Iran's view? You've heard what Prime Minister Modi had stated at the SCO, the G20, on the
Yes.
fact that, you know, that there should be fears of radicalization is there. There is a fear that Afghanistan may again turn into a hub for international terrorist networks, but people, countries have to stand beside Afghan people. What's your view?
Yes, our position also is very similar to Indian. Despite we have the very big and large borders with Afghanistan, we are sharing with Afghanistan same culture, same language, and same history, because Afghanistan in past time was a part of Iran. So the two nations are very close culturally. We are also standing beside the Afghan people. Almost 40 million people now need the helps, and we should help them in food, in medicine, as immediate need for them. And after that, help, because they need this administration, they need something. It is not only food and
Right.
Medicine. But as if you see to the Iran, the joint statement for the last meeting in Tehran, you will see the same thing that India also repeated. So Afghanistan should not be a place to be used against regional and neighboring countries as be a place for terrorists, you know. The people of Afghanistan has this right to enjoy a very good life. And we feel fire in our neighboring country will be fire at home. So if Afghanistan has instability, problem, poorness, poor, and whatever you see, that will affect the neighboring country. Millions of Afghans will move to my country and some other neighboring countries. So we should push, help. It is out of recognition. It is something else. Beside the people of Afghanistan means something regardless of the political issue. It is humanitarian one. Now our gates are open to Afghanistan. Fuel are going, humanitarian aids are going, but it's not enough. We expect the whole world community come and help. This is a duty for everybody, because Iran or other countries like Pakistan or other neighboring countries is not sufficient in these conditions to receive them and to take care about everybody in the border, and some people who have been since 40 years suffering from war, internal war, I don't know, many problems. So we welcome the Indian ideas also. Of course, being beside Afghanis people is something forever. But how the political system will go, how the situation will be go to stability or something else, how a comprehensive government will be done by other groups and every ethnic group or any religion, anything, that's something else. We should also for helping that, but helping the people of Afghanistan is a must for everybody, including India, that we saw last year. India through Chabahar exported more than 700,000 tons the wheat to Afghanistan.
You want to still send the wheat.
Yes, and that's, I mean, this is a duty for everybody. India also at its capacity also has the its own share, and we appreciate really to help all the countries, including India. Through us, we are ready also to adapt and to help the people of Afghanistan.
Sure, thank you so much, Your
You're
Excellency.
welcome.
That was Dr. Ali Chegeni, Ambassador of Iran to India. You're watching this on the Print's YouTube channel. For The Print, this is Nayanima Basu. With me on camera is Manisha Mandal. Thank you.
Thank you.